Uh, Good morning, class. Today we'll see the principle of strength training. In that, we'll see the overload principle, then specific adaptation to imposed demand, then specificity and reversibility. So when we talk about the overload principle, it is basically a increase or to improve the performance of a muscle, or to that particular load will increase the metabolic capacity of the muscle. So whenever we are applying particular amount of load of the muscle to the muscle, that muscle is that muscle will be getting to adapted to that particular amount of load. Then eventually, if we are getting that adaptation point, we need to again increase the load. So this increase the load will again lead to the adaptation after some time. So this increasing load adaptation, this cycle goes on. So this is basically they are calling it as a progression of the overload. So this is important while when we talk about a strength training. So if a muscle demand remains constant after the muscle has adapted, then level of muscle performance can be maintained, but it will not get increased. So that's why whenever we talk about increase in the strength of the muscle, the load needs to be increased gradually. So if we are gradually increasing the load, that means the principle of overload is saying, so we are increasing the strength of the muscle. So if we are not using or we are not improving the load of the muscle, then definitely we are maintaining that particular amount of strength, but we are not improving it. So for improving strength of the muscle, we need to increase the amount of load. So how we can, what is the different way by which we can increase the load of the muscle? So application of the overload principle. So when we talk about overload principle, it focuses on progressive loading of the muscle by manipulating, for example, intensity, volume, and volume of the exercise. So as this image is saying, we all know that there are basic way by which we train the individual, or by which we can modulate the load of the individual. So that is frequency, intensity, time, and type. So intensity of the resistance exercise refers to how much amount of weight or resistance is imposed on the muscle, whereas volume encompasses variables such as repetition, sets, or frequency of the exercise, and any one or more of which can be gradually adjusted to increase the demand of the muscle. Just to see the example, when we talk about increase in the intensity, so if an individual is performing 10 repetitions in one set at a one level, so we will ask patient to increase the repetition at the initial stage. So we can ask patient to go for a instead of doing 10 repetition, patient can go for a 12 repetitions in a individual set. So that will be one form of increase in the intensity. Other form could be the number of sets. We can, like initially patient is doing one exercises, one particular sets in that 10 repetition if we are performing. So now we can ask patient to go for a 3 set instead of a 2 sets. That could be one of the increase in the load. Then other load increase can be a frequency of exercise. Like if person is doing a strength training twice in a week, now we can ask patient to go for a thrice in a week. So this can be a one way to increase the intensity of the individual, or we can ask patient to increase the load by this way. Then in strength training program, the amount of resistance is applied to the muscle is incrementally and progressively increased. So when we talk about increase in the load, so we should know about what exactly we need to increase. So either we need to increase the strength, or we need to increase the endurance of a muscle. So when we talk about strength, then we are only focusing on increasing amount of a resistance. And when we talk about we need to increase the endurance of the muscle, then we should ask patient to increase the repetition of the activities. So for the endurance training, more of endurance placed on the number of repetition performed than on the increasing resistance. So this is one of the way where we can apply the overload principle while training the individual. Then the other principle is the set principle. Whenever we talk about set principle, we should know what exactly the goal of a patient. So specific adaptation to imposed demand says that it is suggests that the frameworks of a specificity is necessary foundation on which exercise program should be built. For example, we should know that whenever we are applying any training to the individual, so what should be the goal of that training? So my patient needs to do the activity for longer duration, or does he need to do the activity for shorter duration but with the maximum strength. So that could be one of the example. So when we talk about said principle, it applies to all the body system basically. It is an extension of a Wolff's law. So body system adapts over a time to the stresses placed on them. So as we know, and as we have seen in overload principle, if we are not increasing the amount of load, then there will be no increment in the load or increment in the endurance occur if we are not manipulating the load. But what we are manipulating, that we should know. So that's why whenever we are targeting on an increasing amount of strength to the muscle, then we should specifically given the increasing resistance exercises. If we need to target the strength endurance of the muscle, then we should more focus on the repetition activities or aerobic activities of the patient, so that it will increase the endurance of the muscle. So this is basically whenever we are this adaptation in the muscle occurs to the specific demand, whatever demand we are giving to the individual, then according to that there will be a adaptation. So this is the very much important principle in the strength training. And then other principle will be specificity training. So when we talk about specificity, the specificity training also referred to as a specificity of the exercises, and it is widely accepted concept suggests that the adaptive effect of a training, such as improvement in the strength, power, and endurance, are highly specific to the training method employed. So in when we talk about SAID, it is specific adaptation to impose demand. Whatever demand we are giving, according to that, the muscle is going to be adapted. So same with that, it has to be a specificity in the training. So if we need to target the strength of the muscle, then we have to increase the amount of resistance. And when we target about the endurance of the muscle, then we need to ask the patient to perform more of a repetition sort of activities. So depend on the patient's goal, the specificity in the training needs to be there. Then specificity of the training also should be considered with the respect of a respect to mode or type and velocity of exercise, as well as the patient or limb position, joint angle, and the movement pattern during the exercises. Now we know that there are different type of contractions. So like eccentric contraction or a concentric contraction or isometric type of contraction. So whenever patient is applying, we are applying any sort of strength training to the patient, we should know the desired action, ki what exactly when we need to target on the concentric type of exercises. So there will be a shortening of the muscle needs to be occur. So that's why this velocity of the exercise is very much important. That constant velocity mein muscle needs to be lengthened or shortened. So specificity not only in terms of type of exercise like strength or endurance, but in terms of how they are performing that activity, then also it is important. Because if we want a desired effect of eccentric loading, so then we will train individual in a eccentric type of exercises. Then there is an important principle of a reversibility. So as we all know now, there is adaptive changes in the body systems, such as increase in the strength or endurance in response to the resistance exercise program for a transient, unless the training induced improvements are regularly used for a functional activities, or unless for an individual participates in the maintenance program of a resistance exercise. So reversibility means whenever individual has started any training to the particular group of muscle. So if while doing the exercise or while following all the principles of a training, there will be changes in the strength or endurance will occur. Now patient has stopped that exercises now, and they are not doing that functional activities also. So then there will be a reversibility principle comes in picture. There will be degradation in the strength, whatever they have achieved while doing the exercise session. So it is very necessary to patient should have a maintenance program that after achieving particular amount of strength that is desired or required to the patient, they need to go for a maintenance exercises, so that those particular treatment or those particular effect of a training will be remain constant throughout. So detraining will be reflected by a reduction in the muscle performance begins within 1 or 2 weeks 1 week or two after the cessation of a resistant training and continues until the training effects are lost. So as we all know, reversibility started occurring if patient is not doing any maintenance program. So then after 1 or 2 weeks, they will immediately face the detraining effect, and whatever strength has been achieved, the gradually it will get going to be reduced and it will be on as the previous stage. So this is all about the principles of a strength training. Thank you all.